listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Walking Dead After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Walking Dead After Show.
All right, thank you for joining us, everybody. Another AFTERBUZZ podcast, Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 9, entitled Trigger Happy. I'm your host, John Comerford. I'm joined in the studio by the lovely and talented Melina Perez. Say hello to our audience first.
Oh, hello.
There it is. Thank you.
Hello, hello.
And also the very talented and rakishly handsome John Hennigan.
I was just about to comment on you not calling me lovely, but rakishly handsome.
Yeah.
What a compliment.
And then, of course, sitting next to me, we got Ben.
There's me.
So,
No, we gotta come up with something for Ben.
No, we don't.
The quick-witted.
and in
master
the
of
booth,
mind.
we've got the producer extraordinary, Phil Svitek.
Welcome, welcome. And it's actually called Triggerfinger.
Triggerfinger?
Not
Triggerfinger.
Trigger Happy.
Oh, man, I was misinformed.
I think
It's
Trigger Happy is
Triggerfinger.
that Weird Al Yankovic song.
Triggerfinger, beg your pardon. Well, speaking of Triggerfinger, that's we got the shootout in the OK Corral today, which was nice. We got the bar scene happening. I mean, it was kind of Western-like. We had people. Yeah, that was kind of fun. You know what was nice is I love seeing Rick. Well, last week it was great to see him do the shootout, and that was amazing. And the angle they first revealed him on, that little Dutch angle they had, the up look on him, very smartly done. But then what was nice is we got some human antagonists in this. Not so much the walkers coming at them, but we didn't get to see any of them except for the one they shot, but they were there. So I thought it created I think as we were watching, you were saying that it was really intense there.
Absolutely, and I think you made a great point. Like they ended the episode perfectly last week. I think like some really great action, and I think they started it keeping the action, which is awesome because instead of like starting slow and having a lot of characters like talk about their feelings and their inner monologues, which sometimes happens on this show. Yeah. It was nice that they started picked up right where they left off. Their friends did show up, and they're right back, and they're still in that tension that they created last episode.
Yeah.
And Hershel picked up a gun, so we got to see that he was adept at that.
You know what's funny? We just Melina and I watched Judge Dredd a few days ago.
Nice.
And we saw Hershel. He was a mutant in Judge Dredd.
Okay.
With some
awesome.
mutant family, and they were cannibals.
Okay,
which is
interesting.
A little factoid.
He's on the other side of the cannibalism thing.
Yeah, he was the one that was actually trying to eat the people in Judge Dredd, and now he's a regular person trying to not be eaten.
AFTERBUZZ exclusive right there, in case nobody else
You
is
know
paying
what's
attention.
interesting about that?
What is interesting about that, Phil?
Well,
Which one, Judge Dredd or Walking Dead?
well, I'm gonna speak to Walking
We'll go back
Dead
to
and
Walking
Hershel.
Yeah.
The fact that you bring up the gun and things like that, and when Rick says to him, you should have learned how to shoot. And I like how Hershel throws it back in his face because you know what? It's more of a choice for him. And the few times he does arm himself with a gun, it's by his choice and it's very select.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's not a random thing as opposed
Exactly.
to Shane.
And so and especially it's people who deserve to be shot. You know what I mean? Rather than just if they're a walker or not. You know what I mean?
I think that's a great point, and maybe that's why he identifies with Rick so much. Because I do think Rick goes by that same mantra. People and, well, walkers, but mostly people that deserve to be shot get shot by Rick. Whereas maybe Shane is a little bit more lenient on the deserve category.
His continuum is a little skewed.
Yeah.
Fat guy and me getting away from the walkers. I'll shoot the fat
Shoot 'em.
guy. Yeah, that's it. So
Awful. Poor Otis.
yeah, I know. That was because Otis. We liked Otis. We didn't want to see him get eaten.
He was a good guy.
Yeah, poor thing. But that's the difference. Like, what's awesome is I think like last episode when when Rick did shoot those 2 people, it made you question, like, is he going the same route as Shane? But they were kind of in the same situation because they all had somebody else, like their family, to think about.
Right.
They had Lori and Carl. But the thing is that Otis was an innocent bystander, and as a sheriff, these 2 guys that came in with a gun, it definitely was a kill or be killed situation.
Yeah.
And
you guys drew.
They drew for their guns, so he had to shoot them.
Right.
Granted, he didn't have to kill
And
them.
you know,
No, I'm just kidding.
and in this episode, yeah, go ahead, Phil. Were you saying something?
No.
Okay. Well, in this episode, I thought they did a great job of having that external force be there, and they didn't. Clearly, Rick didn't want to shoot. He didn't. He just wanted them to go away. He's trying to negotiate with them. He's trying to speak reason to them.
He felt guilty
He's just
and
going,
said
you know,
it. Like,
if they drew, we had to. Everybody's lost. People, we don't need to lose anymore. All that kind of stuff.
Only out of necessity.
Exactly. So he's trying to do everything he can to get out of there without any more bloodshed.
Yeah.
And it's not to be because they just, for whatever reason, decide they're not going to have it. They want to take care of business. They want to do it now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If that's the way it's going to go down, so here we go.
Right. And I do think it's cool that they were in that situation.
Yeah.
And then last episode and then this episode again.
Right.
They get thrust into that same situation, kill or be killed.
Yes.
Which is kind of why we're watching Walking Dead, right?
That is the reason.
Instead of like a soap opera or
But
something.
what's
right.
really cool about this is that, say in an apocalyptic world, you're thinking about, okay, the dead people, the zombies. You have
Right.
to worry about them. But now the realization is it's not just these zombies that we're worrying about. We have to we have to defend ourselves from humans too. People who are just like us, living in this world, and we're trying to survive.
Yeah, and everybody is. And you never know where they're going to come from. You never know if they're going to be in the Shane camp that's going to shoot you just because they...
Right. I mean, like, because it's almost like the morality of humans has been poisoned by the zombies to the extent that they've become almost as evil as the mindless zombies themselves, except even more threatening because they can think.
There's no rules, there's no laws, there's nothing. Everything's just pure chaos.
Yeah.
I thought this was one of the most like intense scenes of the show. Like I personally find the humans armed with weapons and their minds a lot scarier than the zombies.
Because the zombies have but one thing you have to worry about. They're just going to come at you because they want to eat you. But you have no idea what a human is going to do.
They're waiting up on the roof for you to step out
exactly.
so they can shoot you.
We watched a documentary about animals, and they were talking about how you can't call what an animal does to another animal or a human murder.
Yeah, because it's not predetermined.
It's not predetermined. They don't have any morals. They're mindless, basically. And I would put zombies in that category also. Like you couldn't.
Oh yeah,
you couldn't call like zombie killing a person murder. It's just like feeding or like or awesome or whatever.
Awesome
for a movie, not if it really happened. But like that's what
he committed awesome.
Yeah. He committed an awesome kill for this show that we're watching. But that's why we were talking earlier about Hershel killing the guy. Like he had to. He was in a situation where he was getting shot at. The guy was shooting at Glenn, and he shot the guy, and then the guy was subsequently
eaten
by zombies.
Yeah,
which is and a lovely buffet it was, wasn't it? When he ripped off his face.
That's
or
the
half
awesome
his face.
part.
my goodness.
It was delicious.
It was a great
insane.
kill.
It was delicious.
But so is the zombie. Okay, the zombie in the beginning of the show when Lori was in the car,
Yeah.
he was doing anything he could to try to eat it. Like he
The
could
skin
mutilate
coming through.
himself.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, all to eat her brains. Like this was a good episode. Like I was really
Well,
happy
we
with
used
it.
to used to have the thing, you know, every episode we'd say what was the best zombie kill, and so this one didn't have great kills in it per se, but I think the great thing about the zombie thing, what's that?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. They used to have many creative ways that
But
stood out,
the
and
beginning,
that's
the
kinda- we
opening
haven't seen that
episode was
lately.
pretty creative. I mean, I didn't think she was going to survive that car
No,
crash.
we were just talking about the actual how they kill
actual-
zombies.
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
used
but
to have
that's
to-
what I'm saying. She
of
took the
killing.
little,
Yeah.
like, the blinker, the light blinker. She
That's
ripped
true.
that off and then stuck it in his eye. I thought that was
That-
creative.
That was
I mean,
pretty
it's
cool.
creative,
Not
but
that creative to me.
But like
that's not really.
I've seen a lot.
I guess you wouldn't
I've seen
see
a lot
it-
of eye pokes.
Yeah.
in
Well,
the
we
show.
haven't
Yeah,
seen
there
a
was
lot
a
of zombie deaths in a
screwdriver,
while, in a
screwdriver
couple of
eye.
episodes.
But I think that's leading to our larger point is
you wouldn't
we
see
haven't
it
seen a lot
in a
lately.
Final Destination movie. That's what you're talking about, right? Like some kind of crazy,
Art-
like complicated,
Yeah.
artistic way
That's what we mean.
of
Yeah.
offing
Yeah.
the
Creativity,
zombies.
not like using items like killing them with a coffee mug or something.
Right,
But
so
creativity,
we-
like in Zombieland, like dropping a piano on them or something like that.
Funny to boot.
Absolutely.
If I could pick up a piano or hoist it up, I'll do it.
Here, let's set our trap. I know. Here's zombie.
And then
Acme
we
style.
need some bait.
Yeah. So I think it would be great.
I love Roadrunner and Coyote.
But it's true though. But speaking of that, that's why you thought the human antagonists were much more interesting than the zombies, because you never know what they're gonna do or how they're gonna act, and you don't know where they're gonna hide.
I thought that
was much more intense.
That was just a really good scene in general. I thought like the lack
There's
of
danger everywhere.
The lack of music really just added tension. It was just silence until a shot rang out.
Good point.
And then you didn't know where it came from.
I really liked the way that after Hershel shot that guy, he moaned in agony.
Oh my goodness.
Forever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It reminded me of that scene in Family Guy where like Peter hits his knee and just goes, ooh, ooh, forever. And he was doing it forever, and then finally the zombies got
Show of
him.
hands.
His face.
Did all of us go, please, just shoot him?
Yes,
I don't want to hear
out of his
anymore.
misery, something.
Like you can see him coming.
No, I didn't want him to put him out of his. I didn't want him to put him out of my misery because I didn't want to hear him anymore.
I wanted him to put my ears out of misery.
Please, put him down.
For some reason, things like that like always draw me in. Like he's moaning, here come the zombies, and I always just go, what's gonna happen? And then they paid it off. Maybe like the kill of the week this week wasn't the zombie, it was that guy.
It was that.
Because they did take him. Like,
although
they ate his face.
That's true.
They did
But
eat his face.
I gotta
Yeah, they
say
ate his
that
face.
the walker trying to get through the windshield was pretty nicely done. And whoever did the makeup on that or effects or whatever, that was nice.
They even showed the other side in the back because you could see it crinkle up and go through, as well as
that was
like
very
from the
well done.
inside.
Yeah, very well done. And for me, a lot of the shows, I want to see that stuff. I mean, I think that's very inventive and creative in how they do it. It's gory as hell. It's disgusting. But I'm in admiration.
It's The Walking Dead.
No, but I'm in admiration of the way they're able to shoot that and have that look real.
Honestly,
what
impressive.
was it? Was it this season, the second season, or the first season where they had like they were eating the intestines and everything? Like they were very graphic about it.
I think that was the pilot with the horse.
The very first.
No, there was they were eating a human being.
Oh,
they were pulling their the intestines out and everything.
Tasty.
I think that was also season 1.
Tastes like pork.
But I want to see
Oddly
more.
enough.
Human?
Yeah.
I think that's what they used,
You've
right?
heard.
I think
Probably.
that's what they
Probably.
used.
Well, yeah.
No, not from
But I want
experience.
to see more stuff like that.
Speaking of gore, if you guys don't mind, I want to talk about the gore of the guy who fell on the fence and his leg.
Oh yeah.
You know, I thought that was very gory. But the other reason why I bring it up is because John Comerford, we talked about this on the other podcast last week, was the fact that Rick now is kind of being more selective about who lets into the camp, and you know the big theme of last week was you can't help everyone. You know, you got to start helping just us, and it was interesting how he chose to save that guy.
Yeah, and he chose it because he said he's a kid.
Yeah.
So in his realm, as we were talking about, Shane will do whatever to whomever for whatever reason. He's got his own. Shane has a different code he lives by, and because he's a kid, he's not going to do it. Or he's not going to kill him, I should say. Even though, who didn't want that guy to have his lights put out? Because
I kind of did. Though he didn't.
You know, just shoot him and get on with it.
He was already shooting
were
at him.
coming, you know.
Okay, I gotta say though,
shut up
I thought that was a well done scene because I honestly wasn't sure. Get the hatchet. I thought, oh man, they're gonna chop.
I thought they were gonna hack
his
his leg off
we were
too.
gonna get a 127 hours scene in there, but we were disappointed.
Nice reference.
And they did a really good job of bringing the walkers in to create the tension and just really build that. And then I did not expect Rick to rip that thing off the fence. Did anybody?
No. And I was a little bit surprised that Hershel was the one that had the idea of let's off him. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like he's gone like a full 180 from
Poor
like
Hershel, like
keeping walkers in the barn alive to like
but if you
let's
think
off
about
this
it,
kid. The zombies are coming.
He had faith that these like his family, his friends, his neighbors, that they were all gonna be like alive again and well. Like he thought this was a sickness. That whole like, and his faith was all tested. He lost his family. He lost his friends. He lost his faith. Everything was completely gone now. So that's why he turned to drinking. He's like, I don't even want to live. What's the reason of living? Like, I'm sure he's probably contemplating that.
Right, and it's
like,
a cool
what's the purpose of
turning
life?
point for his character.
Yeah, that's why he went crazy. But at the same time, I'm like, I find it interesting because we have Rick, who's always like, he's losing a little bit of faith, but at the same time, because he has a family, he has to. And I think everybody is all this loss, all this like trying to question humanity and trying to question like what's going on, how they're going to survive. It's everybody's just trying to rationalize everything.
Like rationalize motivations for living versus
But what I like is that Glenn has Maggie now. He has to think about Maggie, and that's why he hates himself right now. I think because he has somebody to come home to. We have Rick, who has to come home to a new baby, as well as Carl and Lori.
A fetus.
And yes, a fetus.
Well, actually, it's not technically a fetus, is it? And it's still.
I don't know. Look that up for us.
Oh my my
Phil, is there any way
I
we
haven't
get
seen,
some
I haven't seen the
clarification on this?
sonogram, so I really don't know.
What's the baby called when it's in?
It's a fetus.
Yeah.
It's in utero.
In utero.
And poor Hershel, like he's probably thinking he doesn't think about Maggie because Maggie's grown up. But then when he came back to the house and Maggie didn't hug him, she hugged Len. It was like,
Yeah, well,
man.
all of us had a visceral reaction
Yeah.
when she walked right by
That was
Hershel.
that was a good pop in the screening
Yeah, it's
room.
like, damn.
Oh, ouch.
Poor
Yeah.
Pop.
brutal.
Tab. Hershel got tagged.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Poor guy. Like I'm sure his whole world's turned upside down. What does he do? Like what does he do now?
He gets drunk.
Well,
Oh,
so,
by the
okay,
way,
yeah.
I thought he should have been drunk.
Yeah, he was drinking a lot. He was almost through the bottle.
drank like the whole bottle, and
then
then
it's like, boop.
20 minutes later,
Yeah,
he's like
it's like-
shooting guys and
Yeah,
running
his
around.
aim's fine. He's lost his faith, but not his aim.
But yeah, he can
Because-
shoot straight with no training.
Absolutely.
Although
even
maybe
after the bottle.
maybe that's why he decided to shoot the guy.
I shoot better when I'm drunk, man.
Yeah.
Can't get his leg up. Shoot him.
Well, to the fairness
pass
of the,
the
show,
moonshine.
Shooting.
when Tony and Dave came in, we kind of cut away from that scene, and then
Yeah.
we came back in. So who knows? They could have been talking for 4 hours.
No,
I-
no,
I don't know.
Not
I
a
don't
chance.
know.
Nice
It's
try.
fine, whatever.
They just didn't track that real well. But,
Yeah.
but,
No,
we appreciate
this-
the effort.
This episode picked up right
Yeah.
where it left off.
So, but let's talk about Rick's decision to keep the kid and take him back to the camp, to the farmhouse. Excuse me. Good idea, bad idea. What side do you guys fall on?
Good idea. He's a
Good
kid.
idea.
Good idea, really?
Yeah, because
But
he's like,
you were all for shooting him.
Well, no, I mean I'm for shooting him for the show reasons,
Oh,
and
okay.
he's an annoying kid. But like at the end of the
it
day,
wouldn't
one
hurt to
is it?
lose him. It wouldn't hurt to lose him, you know?
like at the end of the day, like yeah, he was shooting you, but like you didn't know at the beginning that he was a kid, and then when you see him, like he is a kid, and he's
Yeah.
got his leg impaled.
Yeah.
I also technically think that you wouldn't be able to rip his leg off the barb of
Yeah.
the fence
Ooh,
that
that
way.
was
That looked like
insane.
a
No, that
harpoon
was-
type thing.
Yeah.
It would have been stuck.
Well, that was the whole reason why they said you can't do that, because without ruining his calf muscle. So
Yeah.
He showed you that he did.
I thought that was a
Did it
bit of
anyway.
a cop out. I mean, to really get him off the fence, you would have had to amputate. But I think it makes it interesting, and it really illustrates Rick's character.
Right.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, Rick is still sticking to what makes people and humans is their ability to empathize with other people in trouble.
And even in this post-apocalyptic world, when all this chaos is happening and
Right.
you're questioning all kinds of morality and rationalizations, he's still trying to live by some semblance of humanity.
to keep that semblance of humanity, exactly, and probably set a good example for his son
Yeah.
Carl. And I think that's just the big divide between Rick and Shane.
Well, and we see that as he brings it back to the farmhouse, and Shane's beside himself. You did what?
Yeah.
Creates a bigger rift between the group because Andrea, of course, believes that Shane has done more to save the group than Rick has.
Because she's
Right.
delusional. I think she's
You
in
think
love.
she's delusional?
I think
Okay.
she's in love with Shane. Like she's so enamored by him that she's gonna agree with anything. Like he does everything.
Because he's
for-
the alpha
for us.
male, or just why? What do you think?
I really think that she really likes the bad boy
You
nature.
think- okay.
Seriously, because
All right.
he's like probably because when she went through everything that she went through, she
Right.
wanted to kill zombies. That's the way she had control of her life to be able to be stronger because she felt like she wasn't when her sister died.
Yeah, she lost her sister in season 1, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think she's really attaching herself to Shane because she wants family, and she feels like an outsider on the group.
So you
No,
think
but
she has an
everybody else
affinity
took
because
her
he's an
in.
outsider as
He's
well?
also an outsider in the group, and then she thinks that maybe this is her chance to like have a unit, have some sort of family.
Well, and Rick, I'm sorry, Shane actually spoke to that. You know, he was saying to her,
Oh,
you and I
yeah.
get treated the same way, and you think it's because he's working her.
He's playing her, yeah.
he's playing her.
he
right?
might be, yeah, but I think she
You think
wants.
so? And why do you
He
say
needs-
that?
he
Just
needs an
because of
ally.
that?
He needs an ally.
Okay, so you think it's like
That and she's a booty call.
okay.
But he really wants Lori. Like he's obsessed with her.
So he's just
he will do whatever
he's
it
getting
takes.
second string ready.
Yeah.
is what
And
you're
you
saying,
can't
just
be
in
too
case that happens.
picky in
But he
a
wants a worker bee
post-apocalyptic
here.
zombie world.
So he's creating some sort of alliance with Andrea.
Because who else- yeah, who
gets,
else will
gets
do
the other
anything
people
for
in
her?
the tribe.
Yeah,
There's
who else?
only so many fish in the bowl, I guess.
Like who
after
else?
the zombies
Well,
have eaten.
Carol. I told you, Carol.
Because you think last week when he was washing,
Carol's
He
a bit
might have
older
a
though.
thing for Carol.
so you think he's even playing her too?
No, not really. But yeah, I wouldn't put it past him though,
Okay,
because
so
he's sleeping
Just
with
getting her
everybody.
ready as a
think so,
seaplane.
huh?
But who else is on Shane's side, like in the group? Who else is agreeing with him? He already burned all his bridges. So Andrea's the only one who's there for him.
Maybe Carl.
You know what's interesting?
Oh,
What's interesting?
Well, speaking of that, I really love the quote that she said to him was, you know, you have such good ideas. It's just in your presentation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the second part was I liked how he had this kind of mini meeting. You know, we joked about it on the last podcast how they should have a Monday meeting so everyone gets on the same page and figures out what the hell we're doing. Because apparently no one has time to talk, even though there's nothing going on for these people's lives. But although the talk wasn't as big as I would have liked to, I thought it was very well done between him and Hershel. And what was really nice was the eye contact that Rick and Hershel did have once Shane left. You know, Rick was basically like nodding like, good job, Hershel, or something. I don't know.
I love that Hershel told Shane off.
Yeah.
Like, this is my house.
I missed that, Phil. That was a nice, subtle pickup.
But even in that moment, I appreciated it. I'm glad they had that scene. I was really left unfulfilled that Shane didn't say anything.
I was surprised. I was really surprised.
It's like, why are you going to leave that hanging?
Shane is the type
of guy.
at
the end of that.
Yeah, Hershel says all this stuff, and it's like, Shane, that's it? You didn't come at him with nothing?
But I believe Shane is the type of guy, when he leaves, he's planning in his head. He's all getting.
Because I think he's too smart for it. He just knows he's got to pick his fights because he can't battle everybody.
But I just thought it was a wasted opportunity for a scene. It's like, that's it. You let because it was
so
lackluster at the end of it. It's like
I could see that.
Petered out to nothing.
I could definitely see. Actually, and it's a good point. I mean, there's definitely a Shane Hershel thing going on too. There's a Rick Shane and a Shane Hershel, and maybe we do see some kind of a Hershel Shane thing go down. There's also a Shane Dale scene, which I think kind of echoes. I think Dale and Hershel are similar in their, well, former Hershel from the previous episodes, especially in Dale, like kind of seemed like they would like be able to sit down and have coffee and talk about how they don't want to do anything, hurt anybody, or like do anything exciting, or coffee. I don't know. But
they'd probably have tea. No.
Yeah, they probably would have decaf. But I think when Shane interacted with Dale previously, and he basically told him, like, look out, bro, like, if you mess with me, I'm going to end you. Right. To Dale. I think that's the conversation that he would have with Hershel if they were alone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Why?
But only if they were alone.
That scene was amazing.
Yeah.
And then this thing is like petered out.
But I don't think he could have it in front of Rick.
Yeah,
but he should have. But that's what I'm saying. That would have been interesting. Have it in front of everybody in that room.
And then end the episode like that, like.
You want to be alpha male? You think you want to be the guy that's going to run this one? Why are you backing down in front of everybody?
But he knows, like, he just knows, like
he's outnumbered.
Everyone's there, like Rick and Hershel.
But that's when you stand forward. If you want to run the show, why back down?
He's like Scar in The Lion King. You know, he can't take on the whole pride.
He's
got to pick people away on the side, and then he's a dominant male, but he's not stronger than the group.
Even in the Wild Kingdom, you take on the dominant male in front of everybody, so they see you win and go, okay,
I always call that prison style.
But even like even like a lion wouldn't take on a pack of hyenas.
No, but
they know.
But I'm saying you take on the guy that's confronting you in front of everybody, and you best him, and then everybody else goes.
Only if you because I think Shane knows that everybody else is on the other side. He thinks that like Rick will probably stand up for Hershel and they'll break the fight. I thought it was a wasted opportunity. I thought he chickened out. And secondly, I'm sick and tired of him whining when he goes outside. He goes, actually, I'm just alone. They don't listen to me anyway. It's like, shut up. I agree with you on that.
Stand up.
I'm sick of Shane. I'm sick of everybody whining for sure. I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, it drives me batty.
Okay, so what are so I like when I go on Twitter and everything, like I see what everybody says about Walking Dead, and there's like Team Shane and Team Rick.
Right.
Because people love Shane, and I think it's like the crazy, like they like that madman crazy, like I'm gonna shoot everybody kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Rick is just such a good guy. Like that's why I like, if I were to have somebody to follow, I would follow Rick because he's, when society, if it comes back together, he's the one who's gonna put it together, not crazy Shane. Like society.
Let's imagine the society that Shane would put together for a second. I don't like you.
Bam!
So.
Well, it was probably let the girls.
It was actually
survive.
Shane who said it. I believe it was season 2, probably like episode 3 or something. Don't quote me on that. But I forget who he's actually talking to, but it was along those lines, like, Rick's a great leader. And actually, you know what? It was with Lori. That I do remember. It was with Lori, and he says, Rick's a great leader in times of peace.
Right.
But these are not times of peace. You need a leader like me that's willing to do what's necessary to save the group.
Yeah, I just haven't seen it because I don't know when Rick hasn't done what he's needed to do.
I think that like especially this last episode and this episode like that times of peace argument may have been more true previously, but now it's like he did do what he needed to do. He just shot 2 guys. Yeah, because like he had to. He knew where it was going.
And you know,
like Rambo did.
And Shane's just. I'm just going to repeat this all the time. Shane's just crazy now. Like
okay,
he does not believe in humanity.
This,
He does not believe in humanity anymore. He doesn't see people as people anymore. It's kill or be killed.
Yeah.
So he's going to do whatever it takes, whether it's kill an innocent person. And I'm surprised he hasn't killed a child because I could see him doing it. All he cares about is him, Lori, and Carl surviving.
Well, he did look crazy a little bit here in complete denial of the reality of how about how or what
like
would you say about that?
Style.
What would you say about that, Phil? Not delusional, but
illusional. But no, you know what? You bring up a good point though, because you know, in the fact that all Shane cares about is Lori and Carl, it parallels what Glenn said to Maggie.
Yeah, let's say.
You know what I mean? And is Glenn worried about becoming like Shane? Like, does he have that sort of?
I don't think he went that far,
he's
but I thought
totally
it was amazing.
Scared.
I thought that was really. I thought this was a really fascinating part because I thought. You know, he did freeze. He froze up, and the fact that they went there with his character, because I thought it was great. Because I think Glenn is one of the more interesting characters. He started out this guy as just this, you know, pizza guy, whatever the heck he was.
Yeah.
And now he's having to deal with the shotguns and the killings and stuff.
He's the go-getter. He's like really fearless. He's like, okay, walk through the zombies and get you something. Okay, I'll do it. Like
they send him down the water hole.
I think they treat him like Forrest Gump when he was in Vietnam. Check out that whole forest.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, go in the well with the zombie.
But get that zombie.
But then he realizes, you know, it's because Maggie says this, that he starts thinking what would happen to her if something happens to me.
He's like completely afraid of death. I cannot die. I have to survive. I have to come back
but not for his
home.
own sake.
He also kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
But he's like, I have to come home to Maggie. That's all that matters is so that she can have somebody because she loves me. And I'm sure he cares about her too. It's like, but he has to have somebody else to think about other than himself.
This was an episode of change, huh? Like, because Glenn went from like fearless, like jump down the well to get the zombie to like freeze up in the middle of the moment. And Hershel totally flipped.
And why, Phil?
Well, hold on one sec.
Pressure's on.
All right, Melina, earmuffs for you.
What? No.
Dames is trouble.
That's it. Dames is trouble.
Oh, you
Dames
jerk.
is trouble.
Oh, you have no idea. Yeah, we are. Wait till the cameras are
And of
off.
course, you know, Maggie, she doesn't understand. It's like, what? She thinks it's great. You came home for me.
Oh, yeah. She was like, she
you
took
wanted
it
to
like,
live for me. Like, you love me back.
She was ready to get down.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's
was.
going, no, you don't get it.
And Glenn, like, I mean, Glenn shouldn't be too picky in this post-zombie apocalyptic world. Also, I mean, how often is there going to be like a single female your own age that's like the farmer's daughter that's available, right? I mean, shouldn't Glenn just be like, all right, look, Maggie, I think you and I should just seal the deal. Like,
damn,
you love me, I love you too. Let's do this.
His morality's getting in the way.
Yeah, let's not be too picky, Glenn. All right, let's.
Oh my goodness. But
you're already overachieving, Glenn. If you're watching, we'll just put it that way.
He's dating up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think so.
No. He could do better.
Sure, he's a great guy. You just said
really
he's a great
guy.
In the real world,
guy,
no. In the real world, yes.
Sure, yeah.
But let's look at the choices he has. There's like those guys from Jersey, I guess, that they met in the bar.
Yeah.
Those are like the first people that we've met in like the last couple episodes, right?
Yeah.
Then there's the others, or like the random people from Herschel's house, who I have no idea who they are.
Still don't know.
I still don't know their names.
No.
I feel like Lost, where like survivors just keep showing up. I'm like, who are they? How many people are on this plane? How many people are on this farm? Like, random people
it'll be
keep showing up.
interesting to see how they keep that going because first of all, he was so flummoxed when she said "I love you." He didn't know what to do with it. Yeah. He had no idea it was going to affect him this way, and all of a sudden he freezes up because he's concerned about her well-being,
and now
he
just
can't be there
now.
For everybody else.
Right.
He's so freaked up in the mind right now. He doesn't know what to do.
And he's angry, taking it out on her because it's like this isn't the way I usually am. This isn't me. Like I don't know what to do with this, and it's your fault.
Because Dames is trouble.
Because Dames is trouble.
But it usually is the dame's fault.
Now you're in trouble too.
What are you talking?
It's not their fault. It's
just there's trouble.
There's nothing they can do about it. Because we care
So
about
I'm
it.
the only girl in here.
Well,
We
John,
gotta get some more
I
girls from
also
Maria
wanted to
next
bring
week.
up, as you guys were talking about the, people showing up and things like that. What was interesting, I liked the dinner that they had, because we've never had them, Rick's group have dinner in the house unless it was invited by.
Yeah, exactly. This is
And as
first
they
time they
were
broke
out,
bread.
that was like free range to go right in it and do whatever they wanted.
right.
I like the way Shane had to sit at the head of the table
Yeah,
because he
that
was the
it-
man.
Yeah, there you go. I
didn't notice that.
Yeah.
He's already planting seeds. He's already letting everybody know
Planting
who's
seeds
the
more
man.
ways than one.
Right?
What?
Who knows who's the baby? Who's the father of the
So,
baby?
That's right.
Whose baby's mama?
But okay. So we got to. I'm going to talk Carol Daryl real quick because I thought that's the other fascinating thing about the scene. I love the way they're doing that. Daryl's going. He's so pissed off. What happened to the girl? I think I was saying it last week. That
He
I think
put
he's really
all
pissed
his-
off about Sophia.
Yeah, he's put all his energy trying to help, like, find
Yeah.
Sophia because he had a bond with Carol because of his brother Merle, and like they had a bond, and his main purpose to make him feel like he mattered and he had like connection
That he was
with
part
people.
of the group and
yes,
yeah, that's
was
right.
to find
Is that this I
Sophia.
know I can do.
Yeah.
My-
Yeah, and then that was
My
proved.
favorite thing about Daryl and Carol is that their names rhyme. Honestly,
That
aside,
I agree.
See,
completely.
and aside from that, I could do without them. I think every
Really?
time, like they've been on, they're just the show drags. I mean,
See, I think I like Daryl's
Carol's
character.
all upset emotionally.
Daryl is really
Daryl's
useful.
Daryl's suddenly upset emotionally. I like him shooting zombies with the
Well,
crossbow.
yeah, that- I do.
Because-
But I
I
love
want
him.
more zombies to be shot by Daryl. I don't want to hear him whine
It'll
about like,
happen.
oh, I don't fit into the group.
I want
That's
him
not
to-
the
He's not
Daryl
even
I want to
whining.
see.
I want
He's
him
not
to.
even whining. We're
He
the ones
was
who said it.
he was being a whiny bitch this episode.
No, he wasn't. He was just angry. He's pissed off, like because Carol, who didn't even want to go to her daughter's funeral, which I guess I could see her point, but at the same time, I feel bad. Like Daryl's upset because he doesn't understand it, and he's angry at her for not doing it because I'm sure if that happened to Merle, he'd be there for his brother. Like he wants to put everything at rest to make everything safe.
Speaking
and
to
okay.
both points, he's pissed off that Sophia died. He's pissed off that all his efforts were in vain, and he's pissed off that Carol isn't snapping out of it or more affected by it.
But she did
But he
snap
doesn't.
out.
But I'm talking
she
about why
did.
he's angry.
Oh,
with
okay,
her.
okay.
But what I'm saying is that, but he doesn't know how to articulate that, so it comes off as being somebody who's a whiny bitch.
And
Because he doesn't
angry.
know how to say the other stuff.
He
And
knows-
I agree with you.
that
I
makes
love
sense.
it when he's just when he's doing the arrow. I mean that's
'Cause to me,
badass stuff.
He's as good as
I love
Shane.
that.
He's as good as Shane. He gets the job done. He kills people.
And
like,
I love
or
his
not
little line. He
zombies.
used to have all these great
Great
one-liners.
little one-liners. and
Terrific.
His like
I love that guy.
His southern accent.
And this guy bugs me, but I understand what he's going through. I understand he doesn't know how to process
I get what
it.
he's going
I
through
just
too.
want
I
him to
just
get done with it.
I just don't need that much of it.
I agree with
Like
you.
just a little bit to get the point across, and
Yeah.
then let's see more badass Daryl.
And Carol's like traumatized because she feels so much pain in her. This baby, Sophia, is like the last thing she had. You know what I mean? It's her life, her her baby. You know what I mean? Her child, and it's gone. Hope is gone. Everything's gone. What do you like? I'm sure she's probably thinking what she could have done to keep her safe. What she could have done to help Sophia, her family, everything. But the way she reacts is to shut down. It's like I'm feeling too much. I don't want to feel. I gotta be numb to it.
I thought she had a thing for Daryl for a while, and I thought they were gonna hook up. Anybody else?
No, I think she obviously cares for him. I don't know if it's going to go down that road or not.
I couldn't tell if it was like a mother-son relationship or
No, I
like
think she just has. I think she
like a Mrs. Robinson like younger guy relationship. I couldn't tell.
she feels tremendously grateful for the fact that he was the one that really kept the vigil going and kept looking for Sophia. He's the one that brought hope back to her that they might find her.
Yeah.
And I think I thought it was impressive that she was able to take on that onslaught. I mean, he took her to task, and she just sat there and let him do his little tirade, and, go have his little tantrum. And
No,
just
what did
sat
he
there.
say?
and let
He
it take
said
her.
some
she
some
did
pretty
say
harsh
horrible
stuff
things,
to
and
her.
she just
Yeah.
sat there.
He did say probably everything that she probably thought in her head and
Right.
rationalized. He said it, but she still stayed calm. She's still like,
because I think she realized, okay, it doesn't mean anything. He's just having his little thing. He's got all this hostility and anger. He just needs to let it out. Let him let it out. If it's out, I mean, that's fine. But just let him get it out.
Well,
so he can
it's
get
either
done.
she's
Speaking-
understanding or she's shutting down still.
I was gonna say this. I think because we got that awesome episode of Daryl where he's imagining his brother and his family and all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so my thought goes to again, they're very much disorganized, and I think what's worse about this whole situation for him is that it reminds him of growing up in a dysfunctional family. And obviously this whole unit or whatever you want to call them. I would call them a family. They're terrible at functioning, especially right now. Yeah. Again, Monday morning meetings. Let's go, guys. But I think that's why he's more mad.
Every family should have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think he's more mad because there was that lack of communication. Had everyone just communicated, you know, he would have been happy to do it. And even if it was a failed attempt, it was a failed attempt. But it was the fact that he was lied to. And it reminds him so much of his
how was he lied to?
Well, again,
by Hershel or
by Hershel and you know, everybody else towards the end. You know,
Right.
where Glenn knew and Dale knew, and they waited a day to tell them, and then it was brought to light.
They didn't know that Sophia was in there, though, did they? They just knew there was walkers.
It's a little self-pity for Dale. Who gives a crap?
Yeah, same here. Like
they took a day to tell you.
Daryl, just
But
quit whining.
but here's the thing I did like about it is that the fact that she stood there and took all that and didn't react to it, I think he respected that, and that's why I think he showed up in the house. Just that little moment there, I thought was nice.
I think so too. I just wish that little moment was like a little like half a moment, or even smaller of a moment.
You just don't like him as a whiny guy. That's
yeah. I mean,
I
well, and it's not just him. Like all the characters on the show are just like, oh, woe is me, blah, blah, blah. Like nobody else, and why do I live? Like I don't
Everybody's
care.
in
Like,
the same situation, guys.
Like,
Get over it.
Please deal with your feelings more quickly, so we can get to like what is more interesting to me about the show.
I think at this point in
Now
the
you know
season,
how
they
we
should
deal
have
with
had their
life.
feelings.
No feelings.
Yeah, you think they should be done with
They
doing
should be
that?
done with feelings.
Okay.
Yeah, touche.
Wow.
All right.
And more killing. Woo.
Well,
Yes.
Oh, by the way,
Definitely.
like,
I need more explosions.
Yeah. There you go.
But I thought this was a good episode. Like, okay, compared to the last before before the break, they were stuck on the barn and they talked a lot and there was a lot of dead space. Now there's killing of zombies. We had for sure 10 zombies killed, possibly 12, and 1 human died.
Wow.
So okay, yeah, I'm marking
You got
it
the
down.
scorecard.
Yeah.
And
Good
so that's
job.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's probably the most more than what we've had combined before this.
Yeah.
So out of the season. So I'm impressed by this episode. I'm grateful. And I'm hoping that next episode's gonna be like more like there's gonna be more stuff going on.
Yeah, well, it seems like it would be. Well, this seems like a
More
good time
killings,
to take us
more
to our break.
fightings.
So, Phil, if you'd be so kind.
Were you gonna finish that sentence?
No, just be
Nope,
so kind,
that
and
was-
that's your
has
lead. If
to.
you'd be
That
so
was
kind,
the
take us to our
sentence.
break.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Welcome back. I have my host Mike's muted for this quick message. Last week we teased a special segment. Here we
What?
go. I know. There you go. We teased a special segment last week that we had an awesome book about season 1, and that we were gonna do it this week. Unfortunately, here's why
We're out of time.
No, I hate giving excuses and things like that, but we're preparing for a huge week of not only
right.
45 shows here at AfterBuzz TV, but we're also preparing for the Oscars
Gift suites.
gift suites that we're doing. We're doing 10 shows for that, and they take so much preparation. We want to give you the best research about the Oscar-worthy movies of this year, and so our hosts are doing a lot of research. We're all working very closely with them to make sure that does happen. And so, unfortunately, this got left by the wayside. But I'm putting it on Ben's hands specifically. Ben,
Not gonna happen.
you're going to read this book in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from now, you're going to read this book.
No.
He's on no.
Oh God, we're all doomed. Melina, can you please read this book? We've got like 4 episodes left, probably.
Are you
And we gotta get through this book.
Which book are we talking about?
Some book that he found at an airport.
All right, give it to me.
I understood there'd be
Give
no
it to me.
reading.
I'll
What
take
it is? All right, for those of you tuning in for the first time, what it is? It's a companion book for the first season. It literally breaks down the comic book to the season 1 and how they filmed it. And has
for
so
the
much
show?
Yes,
yeah,
for the show.
I'll do it. Yeah.
All right, Melina, you're in charge.
That's it. She's on it. That's it. It's gonna happen. Then it's bigger than all of us.
Consider it done.
Comic, right? It's the comic.
Oh yeah.
No, it's got actual words in it. A lot of words.
More words than the comic.
But it's kind of
How many pages?
I don't know. But you just read whichever ones. You read every other
150.
one.
There's a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
Easy. All right.
It's page turner.
I like that sound effect.
Thank you.
This is my first time on AfterBuzz.
Yes, and fabulous job. We're very
thing.
thankful to have him. So speaking of John, your first time, give us your first prediction.
Oh man! Instead of just going straight up predictions, I'm going to go with what I would like to see.
Okay, great. Let's
Merle.
do that.
I want to see Merle come back. I think he's going to at some point. They've got to. There was no confirmed kill on Merle.
Right.
Hopefully he
I'm
comes
sure
back
they'll bring
with
him
something cool like a hook. Or like a Hellboy type hand or a RoboCop.
Nice.
I don't know.
Oh,
Something
my
really
God.
cool for
Yes.
Merle would be awesome.
Some Inspector Gadget.
Yes.
Like a chainsaw arm.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
Awesome.
What
Well,
was-
I want
what was
something
the chainsaw
changeable.
arm?
How is he supposed to get this?
Evil Dead?
Evil Dead, yes. Perfect. Evil Dead. Bruce Campbell chainsaw arm would be awesome.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
His boomstick.
Sorry.
Let's see what else. We got Rick and Shane. There's got to be some sort of showdown.
Well,
and,
we saw they're gonna get into a little tussle.
and it looks like
Yeah.
it's gonna happen sooner rather than later.
Well,
which
according to the preview, it's gonna
Yeah,
happen next week.
yeah,
And
which
it's gotta
seems
happen.
like jumping the gun a little bit to me because it seems
Yeah.
like it might be something you'd save completely, like the full thing
the
for
full-
the season finale.
Well, maybe this is just a little teaser, and then
Having-
the big showdown with the guns and the whole thing.
Having Rick and Shane like this next week seems like it might be almost like if you were having a wrestling pay-per-view and you had the WWE Heavyweight Championship match before the end of the pay-per-view. And you know, if that's what the people are waiting to see, it doesn't make much sense to see Rick and Shane at episode 10 rather than at the end of the season.
But I think it's interesting to see the tension, like, because you know it's there. They're like throughout this whole entire time, they have not been acknowledging it. Rick knows that Shane slept with his wife.
Yeah.
And he doesn't acknowledge it. He's just really calm and cool. And now it's gonna come to a head now. And it's gonna be I wanna see it because I wanna see Rick react. Because what Lori said was Shane thinks I'm his.
Yeah.
Shane thinks Carl's is his too, and this baby is his.
She was
What are
literally-
you
He
gonna
was
do
being
about
a little
it?
bit conniving also.
Literally in his ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally in like Lady Macbeth. I mean, this is like
Yeah.
It seems like that. Like she wants one has to go. Like Rick or Shane has to go.
Yeah.
So I think she's trying to instigate it so that it's like, okay, we got to get rid of Shane.
I'm trying to do my bidding.
So now they're gonna square off, and
Dames.
I makes me
Dames.
wonder if nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble.
I have a request
Does that
too,
mean I'm a
Alright.
dame?
for what I would like to see.
What's
Okay.
that?
Can we get off the farm?
Get off the farm.
Good God.
Get off the farm.
Yeah, we've been wondering.
Every single week.
Yeah, we're still
Every
at the
week.
farm.
I hear you.
Get off
Yes,
the
it's
farm.
true.
Get off the
Get off the
farm.
But if you were
Oh
in
my
the
God.
same situation, would you get off the farm?
No, but I'm not, and it's a TV show. So
Yeah.
get off the farm,
Yeah,
please.
I have to say,
and have less
yeah.
feelings.
What I was thinking,
Yeah.
like, there's so many scenarios
off
that they
the
could
damn
have.
farm.
They could have gotten off the farm. Like the well was already tainted by the zombie. Like they
Yeah.
could have. Like how are they gonna drink? Like there's so many scenarios where they had to go. They could have gone.
yeah.
And you're right, like the scene at the bar, like which was I think what we're all like positively reacting to from last week and this week that carried over. They're at the bar off the farm,
Yeah.
and there's like so
I
much more
appreciate it.
possibility.
Not
We
that.
were- we
I think what we
expected
liked
the,
is that
backup
something
stuff to happen.
happened.
from the humans.
That's
to
what
Yeah.
we were excited about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we thought
Something
would
happened.
But it's
I'm
like when you're not
grateful
on the
for that.
farm, like you know
Yeah.
that something's gonna happen, which
Yeah.
is get off
We-
the farm.
Yeah, we
Get off the
were
farm.
we're hoping that backup does come for
You should-
what's
yeah.
his face, Ronald, Roger,
The kid.
whatever.
With the
the
leg.
kid with the leg.
The kid with
kid
the
with the
leg.
leg.
Kick him off.
Yeah, I hope we can do something. All right, well, that'll do our podcast for Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 9, Triggerfinger. Got it right. All right, so where can our fans find you?
Real Melina, at Real Melina. That's
At
what it is.
Real Melina.
Yes.
There we go. John, where would they see you?
Follow me at the Real Morrison.
At the Real Morrison. Phil, where do people find you?
They can find me on AfterBuzz TV.
There you go.
All right.
Ben, they
I-
shouldn't even be looking for you.
I think I have a Twitter, and if I do, I spelled my own name wrong.
All All right.
So it'll do them no
You
good
have to do
try
that
look
sometimes
for it.
because your real name's taken.
It was. I had to add an extra T.
All right, and I'd rather you not go looking for me. So on behalf of Melina Perez, John Hennigan, Ben Bottomley, and Phil Svitek, I'm your host, John Comerford, saying thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Oh, buzz you later. Are we supposed to?
Where's
We got.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.